We're in the third chapter of Legacy, Legacy United. And at the reveal of that name, 1,000 footy jokes were made in minds of toy reviewers everywhere. However, I don't care about soccer, so I'm not going to make a soccer joke. I'm just going to show you the packaging. I like the darker color a lot better than Evolution, but still not quite as good as the purple Legacy Classic. And yes, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, we're starting at a very odd spot. Freaking Energon Megatron. Here is the tiniest Decepticon leader. Look, even at the insert, it looks like, I don't know, an explosion or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it's very bright. And yes, the Micromaniac himself. But before we can talk about Energon Megatron, I have to bring back Armada Megatron. How cool is it that on the box art for Tidal Wave, which I figured they had to be releasing a Tidal Wave, it shows off Legacy Galvatron. That was just shown today, went up for pre-order. And yeah, I'm still going to get that Galvatron and that Tidal Wave. But I bring him up because it involves spoilers for Energon and Armada. I did finish watching Armada, and it is a show. But yes, at the end of Armada, Megatron, as Galvatron, sacrifices himself to stop Unicron temporarily. And it's revealed in Energon that not only did he not die, but he'd been waiting in Unicron, building himself a new body, which looks like this. Really? I mean, okay. This is what you went with. But also, core class. Just like something else, I wish this was bigger. But we have to review what we have. And I like this design for Megatron. The color scheme isn't classic, although the gray is pretty classic Megatron. The blue and the lime green. Is that lime green? Neon green? You know, the giant cockpit on his back. Like, I don't know, he looks cool. Give you as good a shot of the head as I can. I like the crown. It feels very Galvatron to me. But then again, every Megatron becomes Galvatron at some point. Like the three prongs. Where's my... Yeah, definitely the head crest of 86 Galvatron. I have one question. Why are the fists a darker blue than the rest of him? Like, that shade of blue isn't used anywhere else. Why? But you got a nice deep blue abs. I meant to say 5-pack, but lost the word. Even these knees are very similar to old 86 Galvs over there. So here's a proper comparison to the 86 Galvatron. And you can kind of see what I mean when there's a lot of this guy in this design. Like the head crown, similar, not exactly the same, but similar. Like the knee pads kind of feel similar. The feet do feel a little bit just in the shape. Although they do swap out Kibble tank tracks for jet bits. I can kind of see a bit of this guy in this. And also, here's my only Energon toys. Prowl and Wheeljack. Or is he downshift? The Super Link. There. He's going to stand on the shoulders of Autobots. Even though Megatron would never do that. Can he actually do a... Come on. Stand. He wants to fall. Alright, fall. Well, I guess we can talk articulation or accessories. Let's talk articulation, because it is unfortunately hindered quite a bit. The head can swivel around just to reveal it's an empty shell. The shoulders are ball jointed, but they only go out that far due to no cutout on the top. They can go all the way around, but again, they do get slightly hindered by that pointless tab there. Elbows are ball jointed. You can see just on my copy, they are wearing out very fast. You can see tons of white powder forming. But I really like these elbows because they're dynamic. This one's especially really tight. Like, you can put them in lots of cool poses, like hands on the hips, him getting ready for a fight, him like getting ready for a fight, like old school British style. Put him up, put him up. Him trying to fire an Ultraman laser. I don't know. If you give him room, there's definitely some fun to be had just in the arms themselves. The waist, non-existent. The hips are ball jointed, but the backpack gets in the way of bending further backwards. Can kick all the way forwards, all the way out. There you go. Very deep knee bend. And this knee, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, that is a super amount of range, but like, it feels worryingly thin and loose. Like, that comes off way easier than I want. No ankle tilt, but it does have a forward and back, mostly for transformation. So unfortunately, if you're looking for the most posable Energon Megatron, he's not it. But I still find some fun to be had with them, especially in those small amount of poses I showed off. Accessories, well, they just add to the fun. So first off, he comes with this, the husk of his previous alt mode, with a sword attached to it. Because why wouldn't you attach a sword to a tank? And it's the Energon sword. Kind of barely, it's only cast in solid black plastic when it's supposed to look like that. They released that as a roleplay weapon back in Energon. It basically a lightsaber. Extends exactly like a telescopic lightsaber. But it also had sound effects. Yeah. And was used by possibly one of the most annoying human characters in all of Transformers, Kicker. So we can attach it to his arm for an arm blade. You could even flip it around for a possible fusion cannon. It's a full tank-sized fusion cannon. Yeah. Just imagine this guy just transformed onto your arm. At that point, he might as well be a not minicon, target master. So that's all you can do with that, just in the robot mode. But you also have these neon cannons. They plug into his shoulders and are laser guns. Yep, there you go. Also, hilariously, his hands are fitted just well enough to plug in the guns, and it looks like he's using them as some kind of neon green air traffic control sticks. I don't know if they work high vis, but maybe he can use them as melee weapons. They're just clubs at that point, just beating up Autobots. Bonk, bonk, bonk. You know, you got to make up your own fun. I just have to bring in, because look at the. Really, I don't know if that's scale accurate. I hope it's not. I hope Energon Megatron was bigger than that, because that seems like a massive downgrade. But, this toy still looks cool. You can flap its wings. That's another point of articulation. You can fold them in front to look like a cape, maybe. I don't know. Now we get to transform him into vehicle mode, and it's so freaking simple. Turn the head, fold out the jet, and rotate the wings. So these missiles are facing forward. Rotate the ball joint at the elbow and plug it in like that. And that is what I mean by the fact that that tab is absolutely useless, because the arms don't stay. Well, that's not true. They stay on their own power due to friction, not because they actually tab into anything. So, in my opinion, I would remove those tabs, because not only do they not function, but they actively get in the way of posing. Now, for the legs, fold the feet to the back, rotate, and this is why the elbow knee is so deep, because it pegs in to the shoulder, like that. Almost bumped off Megatron. Sorry, David K. He's giving me the cold shoulder right now. So rotate, fold, fold, and I'm serious when I say this is his jet mode. First off, that looks horrible, mostly because it's core class. There's nothing hiding. It's barely a disguise. He's got visible most of me, or VMOM. Hello. I mean, he's looking away, so it's perfectly fine. It's a Cybertronian mode in the show before Transformers Cybertron. I'm looking at Cybertron Megatron right over there. I don't have the Legends class Cybertron Megatron, but now I wish I did, just to match him up size-wise with this guy, and I hope they put out a core class Energon Megatron at some point. I'm like, that's barely a jet, right? It's got a really long cockpit. I guess I kept thinking the wings are supposed to be like this, because I want a second hinge right here to hinge it out so it's covering the fist at least slightly, but then still straight out. But no, the instructions show them like that. You want to make it even crazier? Attach the tank. There are those two tabs right there, and they go in slots right there. So you can have him either sword forward, or I just want to show it again because they crammed a massive amount of detail into such a tiny little thing to recreate this guy's tank mode that I don't feel like showing you. But most likely, you would place the gun forward, which, yes, all three of his guns have ports, pegs that are blast effect compatible. Unfortunately, his hands are not blast effect compatible. That would be hilarious. Although that's compatible enough for me. So, Energon Megatron, is he good? I have a hard time saying yes. His robot mode is hindered. His jet mode is hilariously just kind of bad. Like it's not a good mode, but it's Energon Megatron, so that nullifies everything. Like, it's hilarious. People have already turned him into Galvatron because, of course, Energon had a Galvatron. It was much more G1 accurate colors than either his predecessor or his ancestor. Like Armada and Cybertron both went with drastically different colors for their Galvatrons. I've already talked about Cybertron Megatron once. I want to do it again if I get the Galvatron or if they release a new one. I just really wish this guy was bigger. I understand they couldn't budget him out to be a Voyager or a leader because there are others. So, like, it just feels weird that there's an Energon homage and he's the smallest of the line. Like, I hope we get more Energon homages. So, I do recommend this guy. One of the three core class toys in Wave 1 of United. I haven't got the other two. There is one of them that I want. But I did manage to pick up something else from United, so we'll take a look at that next. Until then, keep kicking the soccer ball. This is why I didn't do a soccer joke at the start, because I don't have any. Keep it weird. Bye.